You know, in the final moments before Jesus ascended into heaven, he didn't give this long, drawn-out farewell speech. Nope. Instead, he gave what really feels like a final mission briefing. It's known as the Great Commission, and it's a foundational command that has literally shaped Christianity for 2,000 years. So let's dive in and break down what this mission is really all about. And here it is, the core text, straight from the book of Matthew. This is the direct command, the marching orders, laying out exactly what his followers were supposed to do once he was gone. It's probably one of the most famous passages in the entire New Testament, and for good reason. It kicked off a global movement. Now, when you first read it, it sounds like a to-do list, right? Go make disciples, baptize, teach. 4 pretty clear instructions. But what if I told you there's something hiding in plain sight here? A little grammatical detail that most people just read right over, and it completely changes how we should understand this entire mission.
Yeah, the real key to unlocking this whole passage isn't actually in our English translations. It's in the original Greek. And this is where we find the central big idea of this whole explainer.
See, in the original language, the way the sentence is built is really, really different. The relationship between the words shows a clear pecking order, with one action standing way above all the others. It's a classic case of the real emphasis getting a little bit lost in translation.
Okay, this is where it gets super interesting. In the Greek, words like go, baptize, and teach aren't actually the main verbs. They're what grammarians call participles, which basically means they're supporting actions. There's only one single direct command in this whole thing: make disciples. That's it. Going, baptizing, and teaching, those are just the how. They're the way you get that one primary command done.
So here's the bottom line. The mission isn't just about going somewhere. It's not just about performing a ritual like baptism, and it's not even just about teaching things. The ultimate goal, the one central task, is to actively teach and train people to become dedicated followers of Jesus. Everything else is in service of that one singular purpose. So that naturally brings up the next big question. If the entire mission is to make disciples, then what does a disciple even look like? What's the end product we're aiming for here? Well, the how is laid out for us right there in those supporting actions we just talked about. It's a process, right? It's something you do as you're going through your life, wherever you are. It involves baptizing, which is that public sign that someone is identifying as a follower of Christ. And, crucially, it requires teaching them to actually live out and obey all the things he commanded. So when you put it all together, a disciple isn't just a student who knows some facts. It's a follower who really believes what Jesus taught, who tries to imitate his example, who clings to his sacrifice and resurrection, who is filled with the Holy Spirit, and who ultimately lives to carry on his work in the world. It's a complete transformation. Okay, so we've got the what, make disciples. We've got the how, by going, baptizing, and teaching. But what about the where? Was there like a strategy for how this was all supposed to play out? For that, we've got to flip over to the book of Acts, which gives us the geographic blueprint. And this isn't just a random list of places. It's a strategic plan for expanding influence, for global impact, all powered by the Holy Spirit. The best way to think about it is like a ripple effect. You know, when you drop a stone in a pond. The mission starts right at home, in Jerusalem. That's our own cities, our neighborhoods. Then the ripples expand outward to Judea and Samaria, our countries and the regions around us. And finally, it reaches the ends of the earth, which means the entire world. And what's so cool is that if you read the rest of the book of Acts, you see the early church follow this plan almost perfectly. The first 7 chapters, all about what's happening in Jerusalem. Then things get a little crazy. Believers get scattered, and the mission pushes out into Judea and Samaria. And then from chapter 13 on, the focus totally shifts to taking the message to the wider world. It's like watching the blueprint unfold in real time. So that was the game plan 2,000 years ago. But what about now? I mean, did this commission have an expiration date, or is this thing still active? Well, the text is really clear on this. This mission wasn't just for the original 12 apostles. It was a baton that was passed, a responsibility entrusted to all of God's holy people. It's an ongoing, multi-generational mandate. It didn't stop with them. And why is it still going? Well, because the Great Commission really reflects the heart of God. The Apostle Paul puts it this way in his letter to Timothy: God desires all people to be saved and to come to a knowledge of the truth. The mission is a direct result of that desire.
It reminds me of that parable Jesus told about the servants who were put in charge of their master's business while he was away. The idea is exactly the same. Believers are supposed to be faithfully working on the business of the kingdom, which is making disciples, until he comes back.
And that really leaves us with this final, kind of provocative thought from that very same parable. This isn't a call to just sit around and wait. It's a command to be active, to engage, to do business, a call to occupy till I come. So the question is, what does that look like for you right now?